Number one, you're like, fuck it, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna be able to stick to my diet, so I'm just gonna do whatever, I'm gonna live my life, I'm gonna enjoy my life, and I'll really start hard come January. That's how you gain 10 pounds before January, and then instead of losing the 20 pounds that you need to lose now you have to lose 30 pounds.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Jessica and I am Melissa, and today we are going to talk about how to set up your calorie cycle for the holidays.
I'm really excited to talk about this.
I can tell.
Okay, so calorie cycling. Why don't you just say it?
Because it's your line.
I know, but you say it sometimes and you do it nice.
Before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and then hit the little bell that's going to notify you every time we drop a new video.
And are you going to tell them to comment? Leave a little comment on what you found most
helpful. If you
helpful?
leave a comment below, we pick one winner every week to win $50. Inside of our Facebook group, we announce it. We're really bad at remembering to announce it, but we do announce it eventually. So if you want to win $50, just do all those things and then you might get picked. The way that I want to structure this video, I think, is we should talk a quick overview of what calorie cycling is, why we calorie cycle, why this is the best time of year to calorie cycle, and then we can talk about how we're setting up our calorie cycle for the holidays.
Okay. Calorie cycling is a mix of high and low calorie days that at the end of a given week nets out to a calorie deficit. So in traditional dieting, right, you usually have to eat the same number of calories every single day. And sometimes that can be boring. It can, start to cause like diet fatigue where you're like, I just start eating the same foods like day over day because it only fits within this like, small calorie window I have, and it doesn't leave room for anything that's like fun or that you can look forward to.
It's just boring. Like you're just sitting there being like, okay, I guess this is it for the rest of my life. I'm just eating like 1,500 calories every day, and it leaves no room for like fun.
Instead of eating 1,500 calories every day, it's like some days you might eat, 1,450 calories, and other days you might have higher calories, like 1,800 calories. And for most people, right, like having that 1,800 calorie day or even higher are going to be opportunities where you can look forward to those like mini diet breaks. You can think of them as like structured cheat days, right? So you're not gonna have to feel all of the guilt or anxiety or, shame that you sometimes feel after you have like a cheat meal, because these cheat meals are essentially just baked into your plan. So you're still making progress, you're still losing weight, and you're still allowed to have those types of foods that you don't normally get on a traditional diet.
I like what you did there. What's baked into your plan?
I wasn't even.
I know.
Okay.
It was nice.
That's fun.
It was a nice touch. Why is this the best time of year to calorie cycle? So I think like everything you just said, you're kind of talking about being able to have like almost structured cheat days or days that you have more calories that you can look forward to. And so what happens is around this time of year, there's Thanksgiving and there's multiple Thanksgivings, right? You have like maybe like your family and then like your partner's family and then
Friendsgiving.
You have Friendsgiving.
Thanksgiving at work.
Yeah, there's just like, there's like 5-10 Thanksgivings these days. I like to have one, and I like it to be mom because mom is just like really good.
She just does it the best.
She does it the best. And then after Thanksgiving, what do we have? We start to have like the pre-Christmas, like work holiday parties where like you're just kind of like, fuck, I don't want to go hang out with these people anymore. You have to go to that. And then it's like actually Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever else you celebrate. And then it's like multiple Christmases. There's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you're going to
day after Christmas.
Right.
And then like, let's just be real, that week between Christmas and New Year's is like a barren wasteland.
It is like everyone's floating around in space, just like, oh, can I have a cookie for breakfast? Like, what time is it? What day is it? Like,
what year
put pants on in like 10 days.
It's like COVID all over again, where everyone was just kind of like in their pajamas or like rolling to work with like a piece of apple pie for breakfast. So like, it makes no sense. There are no rules. It's the weirdest, absolute weirdest time of the year. That all being said, there are so many opportunities to have more indulgent foods or to like need higher calories to be able to go do all of that shit.
Yeah, and I think what happens is if you're not calorie cycling and you are trying to diet or at least maintain your current weight and not like roll into the new year 10, 20 pounds heavier. What did I just say?
If you're trying, if you're like traditional dieting and trying to maintain your weight and not like roll into January fat, this gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
It does. And so what happens is you're starting to like think, like in your head, you're thinking about, I have this. You're starting to put it on your calendar and you're looking at it, you're like, oh my God, like there's no way I'm gonna be able to stick to this diet, like, and it starts to get really stressful. If you're calorie cycling and you can actually write down these events that you have, you can start to almost kind of zoom out over like these next like 2, even like 3 months realistically, and look at all the dates that you actually have events. Then what you can do is you can say, okay, so this week, these are gonna be my high days. This week, these are gonna be my high days. And you can start to play around with it to set up your calorie cycle so that you can say, okay, like at least 70%, 80% of the month, I am in a calorie deficit. Or I am like, I'm dieting, and my high days are these days where I don't have to stress about like trying to stick to my diet. And that almost, it allows you to go into the holidays not
like
stressed.
Peace of mind, right?
Like you can actually enjoy yourself for once.
Yeah, I think because what happens if you are not doing that, you either take 2 paths. Like path number 1 is you're looking at all of these opportunities and you start to build them up more in your head, right? Like you were saying, like pull out an actual calendar and sit down and like mark off the days when you actually have events and when you're probably going to want to indulge a little bit more, whether it's yummy food, whether it's cocktails, whatever it is. Like you're going out to dinner, mark it off on the calendar. Because you'll see that it's really, in the grand scheme of things, not all that many days.
Yeah.
But when you start to think about it in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, there's something every single week. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to stick to my diet. So we have like 2 paths that we normally take. Number 1, you're like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be able to stick to my diet. So I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna enjoy my life, and I'll really start hard come January. That's how you gain 10 pounds before January. And then instead of losing the 20 pounds that you need to lose now you have to lose 30 pounds. So that's like path number 1. Or path number 2, you start following this restrict and binge pattern where up until the event, you're like, all right, I'm not gonna eat at all until like this event. And you're saving up all of your calories and you get to that event and then you overdo it, times 10.
Yep.
And then you're like, well, I have to go back to being super restrictive and I already messed up today and I already overdid it. So now I'm just gonna take the next like 3 or 4 days to eat whatever I want, and then I'll get back on my diet on Monday. And again, because of that restrict and binge cycle, you're setting yourself up for the opportunity to roll into January even heavier. So if we kind of get rid of those 2 mindsets of like, this is gonna be impossible to do, which in all fairness, you and I, like we were like queens of doing that, being like, there's no point. Yeah. Like, I'm not even gonna try.
It was even like, it even got to the point where it was like, you try to be really good, and then like the days before Thanksgiving, like you're kind of cooking things and you start to like nibble on things and try it, and you're like, well, I already blew it.
Yep.
And then, so what's the point? And then the day before Thanksgiving, you're already kind of like stuffing yourself. And then Thanksgiving comes and you're just like, well, screw it. Like, might as well go to town. And then the day after, you're in your head, you're like, well, I'm going to be really good tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to like run, do a bunch of cardio, like not eat, do a cleanse, whatever like bullshit you want to do. And then what happens is you wake up with a turkey hangover and everyone's laying around
in the fridge just looking at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, nemesis.
And the apple pie is just looking really nice at this point. And so you're like, well, I already messed up. Like, look at the past few days, like how much I overate. I might as well just go for it again today.
And then it's only Saturday and Sunday until Monday. So it's like, you know what? Like, I have all these leftovers. I don't want to throw them out. And I really don't feel like I have a lot of willpower right now. Plus, it's the holidays. Might as well just enjoy myself.
And you can see how, like, when I just said that, like, I had, like, PTSD thinking back to, like, when we would do that. And every single day was stressful. You should not have to go into the holidays feeling stressed. You should be able to enjoy yourself, enjoy the holidays, and actually enjoy the food and look forward to enjoying the food. And that's why this time of year is the best time to calorie cycle, so that you can have those structured high days. You can know going into it, even for the full week of Thanksgiving, you can know this is my entire week of high days. I can have this entire week be my higher calorie days. And then you can enjoy everything that you want to eat. I want to show on the screen like our calorie cycle for November. That way you can kind of see, because I know for me, I have to go to Chicago for one Thanksgiving, and then I'll be in Connecticut for another Thanksgiving, and then I'm sure there's other things.
We have a work conference. So we have a work conference the beginning of November where we're going to be taking out our team, like going to dinner, things like that, other events where we know we're going to have to eat out. And so for me, the second week of November, I have a wedding that I have to go to. So that's going to be a night of you know, probably a couple more drinks than usual. Then we have, you're gonna be in Chicago
Yep.
for Thanksgiving, then you're gonna be in Connecticut,
Yep.
I'm gonna be in Connecticut, then I'm gonna be in Long Island. So like I would say, you know, like almost a week at Thanksgiving
Yeah.
that you're gonna give yourself. For you guys, right, you might not have that many activities, but I always like to do like at least Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday,
Sunday,
honestly.
and like take those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. And like just make that like those are gonna be my higher calorie days. And then when it comes to December, that's gonna be different for each person.
Yeah.
But you know, consider the opportunities where you might want to be going out for dinner, you might want to go grab like cocktails after work Christmas parties, other type of holiday parties that your friends might be throwing. Again, like traveling to different places to celebrate different holidays, whether it's with your family, your friends, your partners,
I would
family,
almost,
friends.
like for me, like in December, I almost include like New Year's Eve and like January 1st in there because to be honest with you, I hate New Year's Day because I feel like it's like New Year's Eve is always like the Sunday scaries, like no matter what day it is. And then New Year's Day, it's like you have to cut out all fun. And so what I do is I just incorporate January 1st into like my high days. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Like I'm going to enjoy myself on that day. And then January 2nd, like I'll have a low day. It doesn't matter.
I even kind of like sometimes would say extend into the first week or two of January. Like kind of go against the grain. Just because everyone else has to start their plan on January, that's not what we teach our clients. And if you watch our last video on why this is the perfect time of the year to reverse diet, then you'll understand that this is usually the time where we reverse our clients up to maintenance levels. And we usually keep them in maintenance throughout January as well.
I love what you just said there because you said that and everyone starts their program in January. But here's the thing, when you calorie cycle, you never have to start another program again. You literally just live your life. And you have high days and low days, and you can go to a point where you eat intuitively, but once you calorie cycle, there's never a point where you need to start something.
Yeah. It's so much freedom and flexibility. So that would be our advice to you. Almost take like November, December, and into January. Start to zoom out and go in and actually like X off the days where you know you're going to want higher calorie days. And then add that up and look at that number over, you know, the total of all 90 days from November, December, January. If you can keep it to like 65, 70%, then you are likely going to be able to get through the holidays fully enjoying yourself, fully enjoying all of the foods and all of the treats, and not gaining weight. And for so many people, that's kind of how we should be looking at what our goal is for this time of the year is how can I just maintain my weight while enjoying myself instead of trying to struggle and focus on fat loss when for most people, this is the time of the year when fat loss is just not something that's going to happen.